Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the sun wove golden threads through emerald forests and the moon sang lullabies to the stars, there lived a princess named Elara. Her beauty was renowned not merely for her sapphire eyes or hair that shimmered like spun moonlight, but for her heart, which was as kind as it was brave. Elara's laughter could coax flowers to bloom, and her compassion mended the sorrows of those who sought her counsel. Yet, for all her virtues, Elara carried a peculiar resolve. She would marry only for love, and no crown or kingdom could sway her otherwise. The kingdom of Lumora, where Elara resided, was a land of enchantment, its borders kissed by mist and mystery. Its castle, perched atop a hill, gleamed with spires that pierced the clouds. King Aldrich and Queen Seraphine, Elara's parents, ruled with wisdom, but they worried for their daughter. Tradition demanded a royal match to secure alliances, and suitors from distant lands arrived daily, bearing gifts of jewels, silks, and promises of power. Princes, dukes, and lords knelt before Elara, each proclaiming their devotion, yet none stirred her heart. She greeted them with grace but dismissed them with a gentle, unyielding refusal. One autumn evening, as leaves painted the ground in hues of amber and crimson, a strange visitor arrived at Lumora's gates. It was no prince, nor even a man, but a crow, its feathers black as midnight, with eyes that gleamed like polished obsidian. The creature landed on the castle's highest balcony, where Elara stood gazing at the twilight. Its voice, surprisingly melodious, broke the silence. "Princess Elara," it said, bowing its sleek head, "I am Corvus, emissary of the enchanted realm. I come with an offer no mortal can refuse." Elara, intrigued rather than alarmed, tilted her head. "Speak, Corvus. What offer do you bring?" The crow's eyes sparkled with secrets. "My master, the Lord of the Twilight Veil, seeks a bride of unmatched spirit. He has watched you from afar and deems you worthy. Accept his hand, and you shall reign over a realm where time never fades, where beauty is eternal, and where power knows no bounds." Elara's laughter rang like silver bells. "A crow proposing on behalf of a lord I've never met? This is a tale for the bards. Tell your master I marry for love, not for promises of eternity." "I refuse." Corvus ruffled his feathers, unaccustomed to rejection. "Beware, princess. Refusing the Lord of the Twilight Veil carries a price. By dawn you will see his power." With a sweep of his wings, the crow vanished into the dusk. Elara returned to her chambers, where tapestries of starlit skies adorned the walls, and drifted into dreams. At midnight, a chill swept through Lumora. The castle's hearths dimmed, and a shadow crept across the land. By morning, the kingdom awoke to a startling sight. Every mirror in the castle reflected not faces, but swirling mists and glimpses of a twilight world. Servants whispered of a curse, and the king and queen summoned Elara. "My child," King Aldrich said, his voice heavy, "the mirrors speak of enchantment. What have you done?" Elara recounted her meeting with Corvus. Queen Seraphine paled. "The Twilight Veil is a realm of ancient magic. Its lord is no mere suitor but a being of immense power. You must reconsider, for the sake of Lumora." But Elara's resolve was steadfast. "I will not wed a shadow for fear of a curse. If this lord seeks my hand, let him face me himself." That night, Corvus returned, his eyes glinting with impatience. "The mirrors are but a taste of my master's power. Accept his offer, or Lumora will fade into twilight, its people lost to shadows." Elara stood tall, her voice unwavering. "I refuse, Corvus. If your master desires me, let him come, not as a threat but as a suitor who seeks my heart." The crow's caw was sharp, almost a snarl. "You will regret this, princess." With that, he soared into the night, leaving a trail of stardust that burned like embers. The next dawn brought a deeper curse. The castle's gardens withered, their vibrant blooms turning to ash. The rivers slowed to a trickle and a mournful fog cloaked the kingdom. The people of Lumora grew fearful, their faith in their princess wavering. Yet Elara, undeterred, sought answers. She ventured to the ancient library, where scrolls whispered of the Twilight Veil, a realm where light and shadow danced in eternal balance, ruled by a lord who craved connection but knew only dominion. Elara's heart ached for her kingdom, but she refused to yield. She donned a cloak of silver thread, woven with protective charms, and set out to confront the Lord of the Twilight Veil. Guided by an old map etched on vellum, she crossed Lumora's borders into the mist-shrouded forest, where trees whispered secrets and paths shifted like dreams. After days of travel, Elara reached a clearing where the air shimmered like liquid glass. A portal to the Twilight Veil stood before her, its edges framed by starlight. Taking a deep breath, she stepped through, emerging in a realm of breathtaking beauty. The sky was a tapestry of twilight hues, and crystalline rivers flowed upward into the heavens. At the heart of the realm stood a palace of obsidian and pearl, its spires glowing faintly. Corvus awaited her, perched on a throne of twisted vines. "You are bold, princess, to enter my master's domain uninvited." "I come to end this curse," Elara replied. "Where is your master?" The crow's form shimmered, and in its place stood a figure cloaked in shadow, his face hidden save for eyes that burned like twin moons. "I am the Lord of the Twilight Veil," he said, his voice a melody of longing and command. "You refused my offer, yet here you stand. Why?" Elara met his gaze. "I seek love, not power. You curse my kingdom to force my hand, but love cannot be coerced. Lift the curse and let us speak as equals." The Lord stepped closer, his presence both warm and cold, like a star's distant light. "No mortal has ever refused me. Your heart intrigues me, Elara, but my pride demands your submission." "Then your pride will be your undoing," she said. "A true lord lifts others up, not casts them into shadow." Her words struck like a bell and the Lord faltered. For the first time he lowered his hood, revealing a face both beautiful and sorrowful, etched with centuries of loneliness. "I am bound to this realm," he confessed. "I sought you to share its wonders, but I know only how to command, not to love." Elara's heart softened, but her resolve held firm. "Then learn. Lift the curse and I will stay, not as your bride but as your friend. Teach me of your world and I will teach you of mine." The Lord hesitated, his eyes searching hers. At last he raised a hand and the air shimmered. Across Lumora the mirrors cleared, the gardens bloomed, and the rivers sang once more. The curse was lifted. True to her word, Elara remained in the Twilight Veil for a time, walking its luminous paths with the Lord, whom she named Arion. They spoke of dreams, of stars, of the fragile beauty of mortal life. Arion learned to listen, to laugh, to see the world through Elara's eyes. In return he showed her the secrets of his realm, how to weave light into song, how to dance with shadows. Their friendship grew, a bond not of obligation but of mutual wonder. When Elara finally returned to Lumora, the kingdom rejoiced. The people marveled at her courage, and the bards sang of the princess who refused the crow. Arion visited often, no longer as a shadow but as a friend, his realm now open to Lumora's people. The two lands forged a bond not of alliances or marriages, but of shared stories and dreams. Elara never married, for her heart belonged to the world itself, to its joys, its sorrows, and its endless mysteries. And in the Twilight Veil, Arion ruled with newfound warmth, his palace no longer a place of solitude but a beacon of connection. And so, the tale of the princess who refused the crow became a legend, whispered by the winds and carried by the stars, a reminder that true power lies not in dominion, but in the courage to choose love over fear.